Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am super excited to sort of be doing my first official YouTube video. There are other videos on my channel. They aren't high quality. They are pretty old and probably kind of embarrassing now. So I've decided to dive right in. I've nicked off with Ben's camera, I've bought a microphone, and I'm gonna give it a real go. So my first video is probably gonna be pretty lengthy. It is my kitchen transformation. Now I am hoping to keep my kitchen transformation pretty budget. I want to stick under $600 for the whole thing. Ben and I have obviously just moved into our first home and yeah, we don't have a lot of spare money to be doing this kind of thing right now. So yeah, keeping the cost down. We've also got holidays in future. We need to be saving our money. So far I have already spent $277 of my budget, and that is buying all of the paint and the painting equipment. My first step is painting all of my cabinets, which I will flash up now. As you can see, they are a delightful peachy salmon color, which has to go. So I'm planning on painting them white, and then I'm changing all of the hardware as well. So I am changing the hardware to be black handles, which I've already bought. I bought them online on AliExpress, again, trying to keep my budget down. They were an additional $55 on top of the $277 because handles are really expensive. I don't know about you guys if you've been shopping for cabinet handles before, but the ones that I loved, which are like just a super beautiful, simple black handle, are $15 to $18 per piece. So don't quite have that much money, decided to jump online to AliExpress, found the exact ones that I want, and spent $55 getting 26. The reviews seem good, pictures on the reviews look good, so I'm taking a gamble, and at the end of the day, if I waste $55, not the end of the world. So yeah, I have done one test cabinet thus far, and it's turned out really good, so now I am ready to get stuck in and do the rest of them. So stay tuned. I'm gonna vlog taking all the cabinets off. I've decided to take them off to do them separate from being inside, and enjoy the journey with me. Hi everyone, so as you can see, I am in our kitchen now. We have loads of space, which is pretty much my dream since I'm in here all the time. And yeah, it's time to start taking off these cabinet doors. Right now, my mum has lent me her little electric screwdriver thingy. She said they're really cheap, that they're like $20 at the warehouse, so it just helps make things a little bit faster instead of having to use a regular screwdriver. I get this bad boy. Yeah, so I've got this one, and yeah, it definitely speeds things up. Once I've taken them all off, essentially I'm going to have a little cup that I'm going to keep all of the screws in. Now, a lot of the YouTube videos that I have seen have people draw out like little maps of their kitchen and label all of the doors with different numbers. I'm not going to do that simply because I am just going to do it in steps. I'm not going to take them all off at once. And I'm pretty sure I should be able to remember where they all go. Yeah, short of that, take everything off, take all the hardware off, and then it is time to give them a really, really good clean. So I've got this sugar soap, which I just got from my local Mitre 10. I'm going to clean them all really thoroughly and make sure that they're spick and span before I take them out for the next step. So stay tuned as I get into it. As you can see, I'm just using the sugar soap diluted in some water to clean down my cabinets. I did end up switching to a microfiber cloth as this was way more efficient at getting off all of the grease and dust left behind on these cabinets, and it did a really good job. It's so important to make sure that you do this step really well because it's going to ultimately lead to a more perfect finished result. Once my cupboards were clean and dry, it was time to start sanding them down. This is one of the more important parts of prepping your cupboard as it makes sure that all of the sealer and paint can adhere to the surface. So I used a really light sanding paper as I'd seen people on YouTube doing, and it was just a P180 grit sandpaper. I went over it reasonably lightly quite a few times until I was satisfied, and then I just used a microfiber cloth to get rid of any of the excess dust. You'll see in this video that I did use my hands, but I moved from that pretty quickly to make sure that I was getting all of the dust off, and I knew a microfiber cloth was the best way to do this. My first step was to go in with the Resene Smooth Surface Sealer. This was just going to make it so that the paint sticks to the cabinets really, really well. Because it is a smooth laminate surface, it can tend to come off, which is why I opted to use this sealer, which I was recommended at my local Mitre 10. So both the sealer and the paint have a 2-hour recoat time, so making sure that it is completely dry before you go and add that first layer of paint is really important. And then I just poured my paint out, used my roller, which was specific to that type of paint, and went in with some zigzag strokes first. This just distributes it across the board really, really easily. And once I have done that, I went in with just some up and down motions. So zigzag first, and then I would work my way from top down to bottom, left to right. And this just makes sure there's no weird lines, no weird streaks, and everything is uniform. When the time came for doing my interior trim, I just made sure that I masked all the bits that I didn't want painted. So at the top of my cupboards, we have a wooden strip. I made sure I masked that. I masked a bit of trim that I wasn't going to paint yet because I didn't want to do that until I was doing my microwave section, which you'll see in the next part. And then once that was all masked up, including the hinges, I just went in with my cutting brush and got around all the edges, the top where the masking tape was, bottom and side, both where masking tape was. And then once I had dragged that out and made sure that there was no drips left over, I just went in with my roller, and again, much like painting the cupboards, I did my zigzag motion and then top to bottom to finish it off, and it looked perfect. Again, I did this for 2 coats, so I did the first coat sealer, second coat was paint, and then the third coat was the perfection paint coat. Hi everyone, so we are back in my kitchen now. It has been a long time since I last filmed in my kitchen with an update on my painting, so this is all going into one video, but this has taken me so much longer than I anticipated to do just because I have been really busy. I'm finally back in here getting stuff done. I have, as you can see up here, put some of the cupboard doors back on, so most of them are the ones off camera, and I am just getting to painting a few more of the trims as I finish up some of the drawers. So yeah, let's get on to masking this up. Before I mask it up, I do have to clean it all down. Again, I'm just using the sugar soap that you've seen me use for all of the cupboard doors, and then I'm gonna lightly sand it with the same sandpaper too. Hi, just me. So as you can see, I've masking taped it all up. Our oven is here, so that's got it on it, and then obviously you can see the side of our pantry here. So I've masked right beside, because I'll paint these inside bits in here. And then I have also taken the cover off of the power outlet. So just the cover, nothing else, nothing electrical. It just means that I can have a cleaner finish and then just pop that on once everything's done. So now I'm going to lay down my first coat of the paint prep. Same prep I've been using the whole time. Again, using the brush to cut in on all of the corners and probably do around the light switch and above. This sealant is like really thin, so it drips quite a bit. So any of the stuff that's collecting down in the bottom there, I'm just using the paintbrush to spread back out over the bottom and the top, and then I can go in and perfect with the roller at the end, just so that I don't have any brush lines or anything like that. But that is how I am combating that issue. Hi everyone, so it is the next day. It took not that long for this to dry, but I did have loads on yesterday. So here I am now about to do the first coat of paint. I've already done all the prep work, so I've already sanded it and then wiped that down. Sanding is a really good chance to get rid of any imperfections. So I noticed that there were a couple of hairs like from the dog in this one, so I was able to sand them out using the fine sandpaper. But yeah, now I'm just going to get straight into the first coat of paint. I do 2 coats, as with anything else, like all the cupboards and stuff. So again, starting with cutting in around the corners. Cool, now that I have got all of the corners sorted, I'm going to go back in with the roller. This is a different roller than the one I use for the sealing coat. This is the one that was recommended to me by the lady in Mitre 10, just because it's specifically for the water soluble paints. And this is why we take off lighting fixtures, well, not fixtures I should say, the like plug cover. Now I can get all up on it and not worry about trying to mask it off or anything. And now it's just going to be a way nicer finish. As I mentioned, I got these handles on AliExpress, and for the price that they were so good. The quality was amazing, and I haven't had any issues with them so far. None of them were damaged when they arrived. I took a gamble and didn't even order any extra. The full amount arrived, and the finish on them was great. They fit the holes perfectly. I just made sure that I measured that first, and then yeah, I just attached them really simply, of course, and it was super easy to do and made such a difference to the finished product. And that is the finished kitchen cupboards. I do have my bench top video coming next, so it is going to look a little bit different too in this video. I just wanted to do the kitchen cupboards as a separate video because I had so many people asking me how I was painting them and the process that I went to. I will put all of the products used in the description below. But yeah, I am so in love with the new look and I can't wait to see what you guys think. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I am so sorry also for the audio on this video. It turned out that my microphone doesn't just plug into my laptop or cell phone, so I've had to get a special thing for it, and in the meantime, I've just had to record some not so nice audio. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I can't wait to hear what you think.